Welcome, bienvenidos, benvindu, to the Soccermetrics Copa Libertadores show, part of the SDH network, the only English language show devoted to South America's premier club competition. I'm your host, Howard Hamilton, the founder of Soccermetrics. It's a quick turnaround for Week 2, Match Day 2, of the Copa Libertadores group stage. That's what I'll be talking about in this episode as I preview the week's 16 matches. This is a week in which the top 2 seeds have their first home matches of the group stage. Number 2 seed will host seed number 3, while the top seed will host the number 4 seed in the other game. And we start the preview in Group A with the match between Flamengo and Independiente Medellín. This match will be played at the Maracanã. Flamengo are currently second in the Brasileirão, and they're going to be looking to the play of Lucas Paquetá and Pedro to deliver them a home win. El Dim are winless in the last 3, and they're currently way down the table in Colombia. So they're going to be looking to get whatever points they can and continue to accumulate points at this point of the group stage. The other match sees Estudiantes de La Plata host Peru's Cusco. This is actually the third meeting between these two sides in Libertadores play. Cusco were formerly known as Real Garcilaso. Under that name, Estudiantes won 3-0 at home and drew 0-0 on the road. In Group B, we have 2 first-time meetings in Libertadores. Nacional hosting Deportes Tolima, and Universitario hosting Coquimbo Unido. Universitario, as I've mentioned multiple times, is known for low-scoring matches. They have not scored multiple goals in Libertadores play very often, and I don't expect anything very different in their encounter versus Coquimbo Unido. Group C sees Fluminense host Independiente Rivadavia. And these are teams that are playing very well in their domestic programs. Fluminense are currently 4th in the Brasileirão. Independiente Rivadavia are currently the best team in Argentina at the moment. They're tops in their groups, and they have the highest point total overall between the two groups in Argentina's Apertura tournament. Bolívar are back at home, back in the clouds, hosting Deportivo La Guaira. Bolívar will be without Jose Sagredo, who was sent off in their previous group stage match. Group D sees the second of our featured matches of this match day, when Boca Juniors host Barcelona. It's the return of Dario Benedetto to the Bombonera, and it's also the return of a long-standing Libertadores series. These two teams have met 6 times since 2003, all in the group stage, Boca having never lost at home. The other match in Group D sees Cruzeiro host Universidad Católica. This is the first meeting in South American club competition between these two teams in 26 years. Cruzeiro won both encounters in the Copa Mercosur in 2000. This has been a big week for Cruzeiro. Formerly near the bottom of the table, they got a win in Guayaquil, got a win in the league. They're still in the relegation zone in Brazil, but they're in 17th place, just 3 points away from 16th place team. Universidad Católica are currently 3rd in Chile's Primera División. Moving on to Group E, with the encounter between Peñarol versus Platense. Juan Ignacio Savarino is suspended for Platense after receiving a red card against Corinthians. They're going to seek to restrict opportunities by Peñarol and try to capitalize on the very few opportunities that they themselves share. That's going to be challenging against a Peñarol squad that is an attacking side and has retained most of the team that has given them deep runs in Libertadores over the last 2 seasons. The other match in Group E sees Corinthians opened their home campaign versus Santa Fe. Corinthians are unbeaten versus Santa Fe in Libertadores play, a 1-0 victory and a 1-1 draw. They're going to have to win despite a significant injury list to players such as Memphis Depay, Hugo, and Gui Negao. Andre Ramalho is suspended for the Sao Paulo side. In Group F, Palmeiras will host Sporting Cristal. Palmeiras are the league leaders in the Brasileirão, and the last time these two teams met, Palmeiras put 6 goals past Sporting Cristal without reply. In fact, the last time that Sporting Cristal won an encounter between these two teams was way back in 2013. Cerro Porteño hosts Junior in the other Group F match. This is another Libertadores Classic, and this will be the 7th time that these two teams have met, but the last time that Cerro Porteño and Junior played in Libertadores was back in 2000. Cecilio Dominguez is suspended for the Paraguayan side after receiving a rather foolish red card against Sporting Cristal last week. Group G sees the third of our featured matches, Liga de Quito hosting Mirasol. This is going to be a trip to altitude for Mirasol, who are leaving Brazil for the first time ever in South American club competition. Not only is this a meeting of Matchday 1 winners, it's also a meeting of two teams that are near the bottom of the table in their respective domestic competitions. Mirasol are bottom of the Brasileirão. Liga de Quito are 11th out of 16 teams. In fact, if the Liga Pro regular season ended today, they would be in the relegation group. Long way to go, however. The other match in Group G sees Lanús hosting Bolivian side Always Ready. Both are looking to get back on track after tough defeats in Matchday 1. And in Group H, Independiente del Valle will be hosting surprising group leaders Universidad Central de Venezuela. Junior Sornosa is suspended for IDV after receiving a red card last week. And Libertad will host Rosario Central. This is the third time that these two teams have met in Libertadores play, both teams having won their respective home matches in 2019. A reminder that this week you can follow all 60 matches on either Fanatiz, Fubo Sports, or YouTube, where the radio broadcast will be streamed. Got a comment or question about this podcast or about the Libertadores? Send them to my X handle at Soccermetrics. You can also send questions or comments to @SoccerDownHere or to Jason Longshore at Longshoe. I'll be back later in the week to look back at Matchday 2 of the Libertadores group stage. This has been the Soccermetrics Copa Libertadores show, proudly part of the SDH network. See you later. Hasta luego e até mais.